And welcome. You are with the Skeinz Diaries. I am Marie. This is episode 233 on a very fine Thursday, the 16th of March. Welcome along to everybody. I hope you've had a great week. The sun has been shining here this week in Napier, which I have to say has been very, very welcome for everybody, particularly with those that aren't doing a lot of cleaning up that is still very much going on. It's the most difficult thing for everybody, actually, trying to sort of get on as business as usual when it's actually, of course, business is most unusual around here. But there you go. At least the sun is shining while we're doing it. So that is good news. Come on in, everybody. Good morning. We're going to do a bit of a Q&A today around Epic Sale, because I know some of you, particularly if you've not done Epic Sale before, may have questions. So if you've got them, throw them into the comments and I will try and get to those as they come scrolling past. So we will do that. And also too, I'm going to show you some of the new yarns which I have uploaded just to give you an idea of some of the stuff that you may not have seen before for Epic Sale. So I have those sitting right there. Good morning, everybody. So good to see everyone coming in. And also some new stuff that I've just loaded up that's available now if you want to purchase ahead of time. Which are things that are not going to go down in price. So, you can actually get a quick cheeky order out before the madness of the week. And then, of course, I'm going to start off with some of the things to get prepared for Epic Sale as well. Great. So good to see. Actually, I'm going to start showing you some of the new stuff, and then we'll get into the boring stuff at the end, because then if you know what you're doing, you don't need to hang around. Let's do that. That's a great idea. So Bernadette, you're saying, yes, I put up some interesting colours in the vintage range, and I'm glad you started with that, because I'm going to show you these first. Now, this is the one thing that's really frustrating, because only 60% of these yarns have come in, and the other 40% have been caught up in the inability to dye problem that we now have. So it is slightly frustrating because we're unable to actually have these in their entirety, and it's meant that the colours sort of have come in and looked a little bit sort of samey. Thank you, Sian. Chance, it was my birthday yesterday. I know, another year around the sun. There you go. As you can see, you're looking at these thinking, okay, Marie, what were you doing? Why did you have all of these colours? Because they all kind of look very similar. If you saw them in the total context of the full range, you would understand why I had all of these. But of course, I'm missing about 5 colours. So it's sort of, So anyway, I'm going to run through these. What this is some raw stock that we had left of vintage DK, of our New Zealand produced vintage. And what we've gone and done is we've gone and taken some vintage colours, and we've gone and run them as a series of monochromatic prints, just to give you just something a little bit different. So they're not printed to the point. So think Sock Mortician. It's a very subtle print, so it gives you something really interesting and exciting. Oh gosh, is that power I've just lost my light. My light's just gone off. There we go. Hopefully it'll pop back on again. Anywho, and this is what we've got with these. Steffi's asking, can you shop international UK? Oh yeah, Steffi, no worries whatsoever. So you jump on. You're buying in New Zealand dollars. Just be aware of that. So whatever, if you want to get a rough head conversion back to British pounds, just essentially halve it, and that's what your pound price would be. And we send orders go across in DHL. So the first block weight wise is just under 2 kilos of fiber, and we shrink it down and send it up to you. So here is a trick for young players, and a lot of our Americans know this, and depending on your VAT rules, and I know now that I'm not sure how it works in a post-Brexit world now, but we do it in blocks up to just under 2 kilos is the first price block, and I'm not sure what that works out at up to the UK. I think it's somewhere in the zone of about 30-ish dollars shipping, which will be about £15, and then it goes up by increments, I think by every 500 grams after that. So no worries at all. And we do send yarn up to the UK, so you can definitely do that. Right, back to these prints. So these prints. This one's Persian green, and one of the reasons why I did a couple of little groups is I wanted to actually do some prints that were sort of complementary and fading. So this is Persian green but done as a monochrome, and this is Alpine green done as a monochrome. So you can actually get a nice little fade going on there. So if you wanted to use the current vintage, which is in solid shades, to actually do some really fun stuff with either color work or striping where you're going solid and whatever stripes you can, and the color should all tone and blend together. These are also going out at the moment. They're priced at $5.95, which is the normal vintage price. You will see those drop down to $3.95, which is the price that the vintage is currently. So those two sort of kind of go together. And then I've got the two blues that go together. So that is Cadet at the top with Wedgwood at the bottom. I really like this combination, and I think this combination here, if you're wanting to play around with some striping, if you threw this in with a little bit of navy, I think would look incredible. It would look really, really cool. So that's those two. Then we've got the two pinks. This is the Merlot and the Rose Hip. I actually think that Rose Hip is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. There we go. And there is the Merlot. Pretty, right? I think it's really, really pretty. So that is that. Margaret's saying she's seeing blues. Everyone, please tell me that we haven't had the blue screen of death again, because I made sure I turned everything off so we didn't have that. And then we've got this guy here, which is Jewel, which is a really fun, bright jewel blue. And this is, so then we had the warm colours, which were the ones that were late coming back in. And I only got one of them, which was the turmeric, which is that one there. I really like that too. So again, you can mix any of these back with standard solid vintage. So if you've got vintage in stock, or in stash, I should say, at home, you can add these to them to actually play around a little bit. And all of these will be going out at $3.95. So we're really excited about those. Now, the other colours, we are going to still continue to run the other colours. And if they come in, and we don't know when they're going to come in, because I was just talking to Peter this morning, literally this was a teeny bit late coming here. And he was just saying they really still can't give a definitive date of when we can get the dye house back up and fully operational, which doesn't really help any of us, does it? But there you go. Yeah, it's all good. Oh, I know. Kathy's saying I'm still isolated with no bridge. I wondered whether you were the other side of the bridge, Kathy. So at least you can shop online. Yep, that's absolutely no chance there, Kathy. And we will make sure that we hold on to it all for you, and we can group it all together. And then the other thing we can do, Kathy, as well, is depending on who's up there, we can see if we can get that up to you at some point as well. Because your Pookie Tap's here, so we can see what we can do. Adele is just saying they would look great in the running up that hill with Melanie Berg. Yes, actually, that I saw that come in, Adele. What a great suggestion. I'm just going to go and pull that up for everybody to show you, because it was striped and I wasn't 100%. So that, oh, well, good spotting. Good spotting. And actually, it's probably sitting in the hot right now, I would have thought, wouldn't it? Let's have a quick look in the hot right now, because I would be highly surprised if it's not sitting there. Oh, we need to take crochet off, because that's what happens. Everything defaults to crochet, because Heather gets on here. She's our crochet queen. Well, there's some really nice stuff in here at the moment. I haven't looked in the Rab for a while. And the hot one, the hot list is looking pretty jolly good. Where's that running up that hill? Is it sitting in here? Okay, just do a. Ah, there it is. Right. Okay, so let's show you this. There we go. Share. Boom. Okay. Here we go. So this is what Adele was just referring to. It's called Running Up That Hill by Melanie Berg. Just come out. There we go. It uses DK plus lace together, but she does knit this on a 4mm needle. So to be quite fair, you could, if you wanted to, not necessarily put the fuzz in if you didn't want to. But yeah, it would actually work quite well because you could, I mean, you can see that beautiful soft halo there because she's gone and knitted this on a dense gauge with this beautiful yarn with that extra halo in there to give you a diffuse look. But I have to say, and I haven't got one here, you could, if you wanted to, knit the vintage with some Whisper Fine, and I'm going to show you this. It's actually quite good timing with the Whisper Fine, and actually have some fun. So I'm just going to, as you know, we've got those beautiful blues in Whisper Fine. The Muri, which and then we've got the deeper blue as well. But if you were wanting to, I'll pop that down here. So there are those two greens, either the Persian and the Alpine. One of the new yarns that's just been loaded up is this, which is called Green Tea, which we've got 3 new colours in Whisper Fine. So these are the 3 new colours. Ta-da! I mean, do these not look like beautiful little scoops of, oh, look at that. So cute. Yum. So this one's called Bellini, beautiful peach, green tea, and Provence. And they are, I think, these can adding to the other soft gelato colors that we have in Whisper Fine ones. I think they're delicious, really delicious. These are currently up and listed. They're there at the everyday price, but they will be going on sale. So pretty much I'll wait until Saturday or next week to get your hands on these and save a little bit of money at the same time. Yeah, Margaret, it does look like an ice cream. I know, it's just utterly, utterly gorgeous. Suzanne's asking about the Desperate Housewives cardigan. Let's have a quick look at that, shall we, Suzanne? And we'll see what's there. Where am I going? Patterns. Oh, no, it's because I don't want to look in crochet. There we go. Oh, I can't find that one. I'll need a little bit more information on the Desperate Housewives cardigan, Suzanne, because I can't seem to find that in Rab. So that is now, they're listed, so you can have a look at them, but they are going to be in the sale, so don't panic. Speaking of things fuzz, we also have this. Now, this is Argenti, which is the fibre that was used to make our Argenti blankets. So the blankets are going to be in the sale. And the blankets are going to have, if you're wanting to get a ready-made woven blanket, it is utterly beautiful. And this is the kid mohair one, and it is so soft. Like, this is super, super soft. It is done into a DK weight, so that's the weight of the yarn. So as you can see, it's definitely got a little bit more fluff and fuzz. And unlike our Whisper DK, which also has a little bit of wool and alpaca with it as well, which gives it more of a more bulk and sort of squish factor, but it has definitely got more body to it. This is just straight mohair, so it has got that ethereal fineness. So it only comes in this silver color, and it is going to be a very, very sharp price. So I've just listed that up. I think I've set it in the Whisper DK category because it's the same pricing, even though the value of the fibre is much greater in this because it's just straight mohair. But if you are wanting to do a sort of full mohair project, whether it be a blanket or a long line cardigan or anything like that, and you want this beautiful beautiful mohair. This is definitely going to be an absolute steal. So do keep an eye out for that one. The other one I haven't got listed up yet, it actually came in while I was on holiday and I wasn't aware of it until this morning. And I feel really awful because it's been sitting in the shop, but it's not been online and I wasn't aware of that. But it's great because this is going out in the sale. And that is the Roving, and this is Cadrona. You guys have been asking for the natural cream. So here it is. It's been, so as I said, it came in at the very, very end of January, and I didn't realise when I got that it had come in while I was away. Now this I'm going to get photographed and up today. Roving is great for any of those colour work patterns. Do have a look. There's some, I actually saw some really fabulous colour work patterns in here. And let's just see if any of those are DK, because I think Roving is a really good option for colour work because it being a single Roving, it is quite grippy. And it then gives you, here we go, there was one there, Whirl, which is just sitting in the Ravelry top 20. And see, this Cadrona would work fantastically with that, would give you a cream option. And it has some really, really, really nice grip when you're wanting to get together and do your stranded colour work. But we were missing the cream, the pop, the bright pop. So that I'm going to get that up. Do not buy it until after it goes on sale, because this is going on sale for $2.95 a ball. But Roving was something that we set up as a limited edition range. We wanted to see how it travelled, and we're going to clear it out at $2.95. So I'd definitely get some in stash. And we haven't yet made a decision whether we go back with this, but for now, this is the last chance to get Roving. So $2.95 is what that's going to be going out for at Epic Sale, and that Cadrona will be in there. So do not miss out on that. The other yarns that I have loaded up, and they were actually available there to be seen, and I've just grabbed them here because this is my photography basket from the other day, is we're also have got some more dips that came in. They were sort of at the moment. So this one here is called Lullaby. Let me get rid of that screen. Yes, I do want to take that away. Thank you. This one is called Lullaby, and this is on machine washable DK. Really, really pretty. So if you're knitting if you've got any new babies and you're wanting to knit, this one is great. The machine washable DKs, there are 3 of them that have gone up. There is Lullaby, this one here, which is called Zodiac. There they are. That's the sort of range of those 3. And I'm sure there was a third. It's definitely these 2. They're going to be quite deeply discounted, especially this guy is going to go lightning fast. So these are up and ready to go. And hopefully there's some more that they're just twisting back at the mill. We might actually get, because they were all done before the cyclone. So we might actually sneak a few more of these up before the sales end. But those 2 are going in quite deep discount. So they are going to be... Those 2 are going, the 100 gram skeins are going out at $7.95 a skein. I know, right? And we're also putting the merinos out. The merino 4-plies are going out at $14.95 a 100 gram skein. And first is this one here. This one is called Aurora. Isn't that gorgeous? It's like the colours of the Aurora Borealis, so that's why it's called Aurora. I think that's gorge. Beautiful jade green colour. And then the other one, which I really loved, this one is, and both of the Aurora is on our, the Aurora is on 100% 4-ply merino, so it's same as our Flight Light or Merino Soft base. And then this guy here, this one is called Ocean Swell, and that's sort of the range of colours from sort of dark to light. That's what you're looking at. I love this one. This one is gorgeous, and it's on the Orb Fine. if you're wanting to get a contrast color, like if you're wanting to do something like a timely or anything like that, this would contrast beautifully back with the shale and orb fine, or the glacier would look, both of those colors against this, if you're wanting to do some color work, would be incredible. Really, really gorgeous. So that is actually now loaded and up on the website, but as I said, don't buy it until after Saturday, because those will all be heavily reduced. We've got some more naturals coming in. I'm just going to check and see what the volumes of those are like, to see if I can get some of those up online for you. As well as in store. So if you're local, you're going to have lots of really good, exciting stuff to shop for, again, which is great news. The next thing that is also up, and I think I popped the newsletter out this morning on these, is we've got some more patterns loaded from the Australian Yarn Company. Now, none of the patterns are going to be on sale during the sale, so you can purchase patterns now and know that you're paying the best price. I have got this one here loaded up, Pooch Power. I know, couldn't help myself. Don't do dogs my size though, but here we go. A collection to knit for your favorite Pooch. We have got the kids winter wardrobe here, which I particularly liked this. All of this was in DK Yarns. What I liked about this collection is if you have already got a whole big stash of vintage that you've already purchased ahead of time, this book is fantastic for any of those yarns. The colours look great. There's lots of really fun, colourful cardigans and sweaters. You can, like that you can mix and match, like this style number 2. Where is it? This one here, this colour block cardigan. Now, you don't need to do it in a colour block, but if you've got yarns left over from other projects, this is the sort of project that you could actually knit up and get rid of all of those little extra excess bits and pieces. This is another kids one. It's called Vintage Girls. As you can see, there's a classic crocheted poncho in there, but a really good sort of sweater. And I mean, that cover cardigan is that cover cardigan, not the cutest thing you've ever seen. And in our flight merino DK, that would look amazing. And then the last one, which I put up, and I think I put a tile of this in, is this one's called Take Two to Totem. Now, what I liked about this one's actually a great price. This is $11.95 for this pattern, but it's actually 4 designs, because what it is it's this cardigan either done in an Intarsia colour block there with cabled sleeves, that you could also do plain like this one here. I mean, imagine that in Albertine Midnight Sun. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So you've got those options there, and then it's also got this as a sweater, either in a colour block or on its own. This is a really good pattern to have, because it gives you, and you wouldn't have to do the cables on the sleeve if you didn't want to. You could actually just do plain sleeves. But what this gives you is a good classic cardigan or sweater template that you could carry on with and have in your pattern library, and you'll know where you're at and what you're doing. So I just think, is the sweater drop sleeve? Oh, you were going to ask me. The sweater is drop sleeved. Yep, the sweater is drop sleeved, and the cardigan looks like it's actually a inset sleeve, because it goes all. Oh, was it a regular? No, it's actually a full inset sleeve. It kind of looks like a saddle on the other side, but no, it is actually a full. Was it a weird looking raglan sleeve? Oh no, it is a raglan. I'm telling pork pies. It says here shape raglan, so it is a raglan sleeve for the cardigan. It's a raglan sleeve for the cardigan, and definitely drop shoulder for the sweater. So there we go. So those are all up and live now. So if you want to get a little bit of planning, or if you sort of don't like, so if you want to get some planning done or get some patterns updated, you could actually get an order in today. I mean, we will get that dispatched before the madness of Saturday. I mean, we never quite know how opening day sale is going to go, Just to give you an idea, last year, now we didn't have the shop open last year, we just were online. And we're kind of hoping, because we've got the shop open this year, that will help diffuse things a little bit. But last year we took 60% of the orders for the entire 2 and a bit weeks of the sale in the first day, just to give you an idea of the volume. So the first day is pretty nutso. So what that, of course, means is lots of things. So this is the survival guide. You would have actually probably gotten this out yesterday in your inbox. So if you're on the newsletter mailing list, this will be in your inbox from yesterday. So the biggest things is, so the dates for the sale obviously start Saturday, finishes Sunday, April 2nd. So the last day in store is April 1st, but you still can order online from April 2nd. The biggest thing is that a lot of these yarns are limited editions, or in the case of the roving, once it's sold, it's gone. Whatever it is, preparedness is the key. So get your patterns together, either what you've already got, or even just if you're not handy sure of what it is that you want to knit, jump into your pattern stash in your book. So if you've got stuff like this lying around at home, or patterns that you love to knit, and have a look at the volumes that you need. I mean, let's face it, most, kids' patterns take a sort of an average, an average of what you need for an adult garment or an Afghan or whatever it is that you want to knit. Have a look at that, get yourself a meterage or the number of balls that you need, and then add 20% at least, because the last thing we want is for you to purchase something for a project and you're going to run out. And of course, we don't have the yarn anymore. And then you have to go to the speakeasy and you have to start sort of begging to see if anyone's got some in stash. And it becomes a thing. We don't want that. So that is what I advise that you do. So if you think to yourself, okay, I want to stock up for this winter, I think I'm going to knit 2 adult garments and maybe half a dozen kids garments, what will that require? And then that will be, I would be looking at 2 bags of, so 20 balls, 50 grams, or 10 balls, 100 grams of, so if we're talking DK weight, 2 lots of DK plus, a mixture of 4 plies and DKs for the kids' stuff. So just do a little bit of a planning, jot down what you think you might want and some ideas of what it is that you think you might want. Believe me, it's like creating a shopping list. It does actually help when you're going to navigate your way around the site, because what happens is when so many people are on the site, particularly in that first 24 to 48 hours, the site, it doesn't matter how much preparation we give our ISP people, they have gone and they've put us on 4 extra servers and everything to try and cope with the traffic that go to the site, but the site does slow down. Okay, so it is a thing, and it doesn't matter what we do, we just can't avoid that. So a little bit of planning is a really great idea. So if you could do that, that would be great. The next number 1 rule: do not preload your cart. I cannot emphasize this enough. Don't preload your cart, because if you preload your cart, when you go back to go to that cart to go and check out, a couple of things may have happened. If somebody's actually got the items that have been placed in there, if they've been someone's checked out ahead of you, they will be cart jacked, as Kathy called it the other day, because you've not checked out. If you're sort of next in the queue, it will get whipped out of that cart. That can happen. The other thing that happens as well, so putting it in your cart doesn't bags it for you. It doesn't save it, okay? The other thing that can happen, and we struck this too last year, is that people preloaded carts, they checked out after midnight, but the special pricing, because the item was in the cart, the special pricing didn't carry over to those items in the cart because they were placed there before the item went on special. So, and you will transact out at full price. Okay, so it's really, really, really important that you do not preload your cart. I cannot stress that enough. So, and it creates a massive headache for us at the other end if you've done that and it doesn't transact out the way that you need to. The other thing that can also happen is cookies, the little sort of breadcrumbs that these electronic people place in these websites, can also be sitting in your browser, depending on the browser that you use and what the settings are. And most of us don't actually necessarily understand, but how these things work. One of the ways that you can easily purge all of that stuff ahead of time, particularly if you've done all your browsing, you've done all your homework, you know where everything's sitting on the site, so you're ready to attack. Once you've got all that down pat, and at this stage, other than loading up that Cardrona and maybe a couple of other things, if it's a bit if it's not something that's part of range, it will go on the sale page. I want you to completely power down your device, whatever device that you choose to use to place on sale. So whether it be a laptop, a desktop, a tablet, a phone, whatever your device is, I'm not talking standby. I'm talking a complete power down, switch off of that device. Leave it for 30 seconds, just 30 to 60 seconds, and then power that back up again. That will often purge out those browser histories, it's particularly if they've got those little crumbs in there, and that will help get rid of lots of little. I mean, honestly, 90% of our issues get fixed by just a complete a power down restart. So not a put to sleep, power down restart. So if you do that, once you've got all your planning and stuff sorted, say tomorrow afternoon, I think you'll find that that will really help. If you've not shopped for us for a while, and again, this is not you guys out there, but for those that might be watching this video wanting to get prepped and use Do Epic Sale for the first time or the first time in a long time, practice logging in and logging out now, because again, I cannot tell you how many times people have said to us, I can't log in, I don't know why it's working. This is the username and password I always use, and then when we go back and check, we find that actually it was slightly different. So, oh, there we go, the light's gone back on again. So go and practice doing that. So jump in, practice your username and password, write that down. If it's not the username and password, if it's for some reason it's not working, or you need to reset your password, get that reset now and write it down, because our customer service team will not be able to get to any of those inquiries until 9:30 on Monday morning. Okay, we go live online at midnight Friday night, Saturday morning. So if any of those, I can't get logged in, I can't get onto the website questions, we can't deal to them until Monday morning. So you need to make sure that you can get in there and get logged on. If you do get that and you've tried everything, you can't do it, look, just create a new profile. It's not the end of the world. Create yourself a new profile or check out as a guest, whatever it gets done. But we will not have the support team available to address any of those things until that time. So so I would do that. Maureen's asking, for that running up that hill jumper, how many 50-gram balls will you need? If you're working on DK, Maureen, work on 100 meters per 50 grams. So I've just taken that screen out. I haven't got that screen up now, but if you have a look at her meterages, she's pretty good, of whatever the meterage required for DK is. If you work your calculations based on 100 meters per 50 grams, you will be good to go on that project. Right, next thing, look beyond the sale page. As I said before, do look beyond the sale page, because most of the yarns will be sitting in their own categories. There are a few yarns that will not be appearing in the sale. Southlander, all the Southlander and Southlander variants is one of them. That's the big key one. They won't be there. The needles will not be on sale in individual tips, cables, straights, but sets will be. And we have actually just receipted more sets from Knit Pro, so those will be loaded up. So anything that we've got in stock from Knit Pro will be in the sale at 20% off. So you can actually stock up on sets, cases and bags from Knit Pro. So that's great news. And whether that be hooks or needles. So those are there. So do check that out. No Ashford is in the sale. No Opal is in the sale, but we do have Skeinz sock in the sale, and that's on a really good price. That's clearing out at $6.95 a ball, 100-gram ball. I know, wowza, right? As I mentioned before, things will be running a bit slower on the site, so it could be, so just be patient. There's no holds or rain checks during Epic sale. We just can't do it. It's too cray. We do holds for a short period of time for local customers, and sometimes we will have rain checks and let people know if stuff comes back in during the year. Doesn't happen during Epic sale. It's just too bonkers. And no bank deposit. No bank deposit. So one of the things that actually Claire suggested, if you are a bank deposit person and you do an automatic payment across to us, one option in the next 24 hours, if you are that person, you can actually purchase gift vouchers using bank deposit. Purchase and contact us, give us a call around that and purchase some gift vouchers and then do it over as bank deposit, and then we can assign you out that gift voucher token and you can actually use that instead. That's actually a really good solution if you're somebody that doesn't like to use a credit or a Visa debit or anything like that. And lay-by. We do have lay-by if you want to sign up for lay-by. So you can actually do that as well. There can be delivery delays. I mean, just with the volume, it's to be expected. If you do place your order, there will be an order that pops up, and we have two. Once your order has been what we call kitted and moved over for picking, you will get an update saying that your order has been shipped. That means it's been shipped from the internal system to the warehouse system. Then you get a second email when it has been scanned by the courier. Now, in normal times, those two emails are really close together because when they've been picked and shipped, it'll often be in the morning and then it's scanned and sent out that night. So it's usually all in the same day. During Epic Sale, that time can actually be days. So from the time we process it to be picked and then it goes through our entire system to be scanned, could sometimes, because we can pick a lot faster than what we can pack and scan out. So that can sometimes be 2, 3, 4 days. So if you send an email saying it says shipped, I haven't got tracking, we may not respond to that because it will come. The tracking, that's a separate email and it will follow. And if you can't find anything, do look into your junk or your spam folders because that's most often where those emails end up. The customer service desk will be open from 10 a.m. to 3:30 weekdays only. So that's the lovely Cheryl. She will be there. She'll be answering the phone. She'll be answering the emails. Just be aware that the first few days is pretty intense, but she will be on deck and that's all she'll be doing is troubleshooting anything that you need to know. So that's really, really excited to have Cheryl doing that. And do make sure you keep check of your newsletters. I'll be making sure I send regular updates out on the newsletters, what's selling really quickly, what alerts if something is running low. If we do happen to get any stock in the middle in the meantime, I'll get that loaded up and let you know about that. So do keep an eye out for those and don't dismiss them. And you can order more than once, so don't panic. If you're a local, if you want to order and do pick up in store, the pick up in stores usually we will say 3 days. But again, with Epic Sale, it can be much, much longer. So with those pick-up in stores, you may want to give Cheryl a call ahead of time to see if it's actually there. And we can actually check, particularly if you're travelling into city from one of the other places before you get to us. But remember, we do have the local delivery option, which is just $3.95. So that is another really, really good option for you. Muriel is asking, can I hold up the jewel because it looks green on the sale page? It is, where is the jewel? That's the Persian. There's the jewel. Yeah, it's really, really difficult because they are, so the Persian green is at the top. That's the Persian green and that's the jewel. So the jewel is sort of like a jewel. It is a blue, but it is they're very, very difficult things to color match because people's screens will have these all looking quite different colors. If you want to get an idea on these colors, have a look at their colors as the solid and imagine that monochromatic is, and actually as you can see, as I separate that, you can see that's quite definitely green, quite definitely blue. So that's those. Now I did see another question squeeze up here before. Lilybug's asking, is it true there'll be no more naked skeins for wool dyeing? Yes, it is true. We sent out notification about that over a month ago. At this stage, now we never say never. in this business. We've had things go away and come back. But in terms of our spinning and spin plan for the next year, it is not on the spin plan, nor the purchase plan coming in from offshore. It's essentially the sales have dwindled and dwindled and dwindled and dwindled and dwindled to a point where we just can't justify the volume that we have to do to sell literally one single line out of that batch, which what Naked Skeinz is. So until we things pick up again for people, no. However, if you are wanting, we do have a number of yarns that if you're just doing something for yourself, so a lot of people will buy just a single kilo that they want to dye for themselves for a garment. A lot of our yarns are actually what were our naked bases undyed anyway. So most of those, if you jump onto the Ashford page, are actually listed there. So there are things like Southlander Cream, there are things like Vintage Eggshell, like Orb Moon, whether it be Orb Fine or Orb DK. So you can actually take those, they're undyed yarns, and then just wind them off by hand yourself and then dye those. So that's an option, particularly if you're just doing it for your own personal use. Bernadette, does vintage ten-ply work well with Southland? Thinking of Trinnigan, by Angela Mowry. Yeah, it would actually. It is smoother though. The Southlander is, as you know, that more rustic texture, whereas the vintage ten-ply is smoother. But yeah, you could have a play around with it. I mean, I don't see. I mean, it's a matter of just having a little bit of a played around a little bit, but you would have to skein all of them out. Yep, you would, I'm afraid. My whole design plan, so the whole thing, Lil, about that is you can actually order undyed yarns from other sources. So in New Zealand, Wild Earth still do undyed yarns, so you can contact them. They have them available. Yeah, they have those available, so you can actually do that. And you can actually bring yarns down from Chester Mills in the UK. I know it's not encouraging designers to use the wools, but unfortunately, not enough of you are using them. And yeah, we have to. We can, just to give you guys an idea, our Naked Skeinz sales are now down to a tenth of what they were. So we've been sort of limping, we've been holding on to them and holding on to them and holding on to them for as long as we possibly could. But ultimately, we've got to bring them in 300 kilos at a time. And that's a lot of money that we have sitting, and people are literally buying one at a time. Yeah, I know, I realize that you probably did shop with us for years, but as I said, it's 1/10. So it is a commercial decision, but there are other alternatives. Actually, Anna Grattan is another one to have a look at too. She does do some naked yarns. Wild Earth do some naked yarns. They're both local. And then Chester is where a lot of the independent dyers are actually buying stuff down from in the UK. So there are still other options out there. Unfortunately, we can't, it just is not viable for us to do it. And for us to continue to do those naked yarns in smaller amounts with the yarns that we already make, we have to, so for example, Orb would be a really good example. The Orb Fine, in order to take those, and the way the processing works in terms, they go onto large hanks, they go into the dye house, and they would be dyed on a 1 kilo hank. They would come out of that 1 kilo hank. Then they go to another machine that gets put into a cake, big continuous cake that goes to balling and gets balled. In order for us to make a naked skein, which is in 100 gram hanks, and we used to do them backwound onto cones, but there was only a couple of larger commercial people that liked it on the cones. Most people wanted them on the 100 gram hanks. We have to then take them back and do 2 more processes on those into small hank winding, and that is very, very labor intensive, which of course adds a lot of extra cost, much more labor intensive than the balling process. And it was getting to the point with that process that it was going to make the naked skeins more expensive than actually you buying the undyed 50-gram ball off the shelf. So when that threshold got breached, that it's cheaper for you to buy the finished 50-gram ball off the shelf, that's when we knew it was time to call it quits. So that's where we're at. We could still do it, but you'd be paying more. So we just figured that was false economy. So we like to be practical. So that's what's happening with Naked Skeinz. But they are still available, and you can, I mean, if you've got actually, I don't know, I'm going to show this to you because not everybody realizes this. Get yourself one of these. You can often, I think Ashford's, I should see if we can get them in from Ashford's, but it's called a niddy noddy, but they can, something's quite easily made. This isn't an Ashford one. This is one that I picked up from, I think I picked it up at a knot shop. So this is called a niddy noddy, but this is what makes skein. So you can just unwind your ball back onto this, and it's actually surprisingly quick. So, and it's much easier than doing it around your arm. So something like this is the sort of thing that you want to get hold of to skein it back. Right. I think that's everything that I've got for Free Sale. If you've got any other questions, let me know. But I'm excited. I'm so excited. So the machine washable wool, which is soft and springy, which wool was that in the DK? That was actually one of the yarns that we manufactured exclusively for Naked Skeinz. So the closest to that that we would have actually would be the Flight merino, the Flight, and actually at the price, that's the better one. I would go for Flight merino, and I think it's, let me just check. I can never remember what color it is. Let's have a look. Owl. So if you go Flight merino and owl, that is a lovely DK, similar to the machine washable DK, and undyed. So that will work quite well. And then the soft, and actually the other one is that, see, Polar and Albertine has been bleached, but you can actually dye over a bleach base, which people do, and it gives you very vivid intense colors, so that you can dye over a bleach base. We also have, I'm just looking out in the shop now to see what would also work. Yes, and I've mentioned the orbs, yeah, and eggshell. If you can pick up eggshell in vintage, that is, it's not machine washable, but that is definitely a good doer in terms of being able to dye over something. And the other thing too, actually, while I've got you there, Lily, is that don't feel that it has to be a white or a cream yarn. You can actually dye over anything, but if it's already dyed, obviously you're going to get colour reactions. However, if you any natural base, so think Southlander, Bracken, oatmeal, or especially Bracken, oatmeal, and cream. Think Cove, Rocky Shore. Think Sockmatician and milk. Oh, there's that light again. Sockmatician and milk. All of those you can actually dye over the top of if you wish, and that will actually give you a beautiful, lovely, flecky, textured sort of look as well. So don't be afraid. Maureen, almost forgot to ask, is Mahana in the sale? Yes, Mahana is in the sale, and that is, I got 10% off. So that is going to be there, so you've got no trouble with that. If you're a Perindale person, we are discontinuing some Perindale colours, so do make sure that if you're a lover of electric blue, papaya, chocolate buttermilk, eureka, ultraviolet, fuchsia, black, or ice blue, that you purchase them now, because they're all being discontinued. But fear not, the reason they're going is they almost have exact equivalents, if not an exact equivalent, in Snug. So that's the only reason why we're doing that, because Snug just goes like a train, and everyone loves Snug for charity. So that's why we're doing that. Yippee, says Maureen. Yippee too. Right, I'm going to stop talking now. You guys have a great rest of week. I will be here on Saturday. I'm working on Saturday for the opening day of the sale, so it'll be me, Claire, and Cara with my young fella Hugo. He's going to be meter, greeter, and bagman. So if you are local, we'd love to see you. We're open 10 to 1, so just for 3 hours. So if you feel like you want to sort of shop in person as opposed to shop online, we would certainly love to see you. So we will be here. But failing that, I will be back on Monday. I will probably do a Skeinz Diaries early because I am working in the shop on Monday. Alongside the retail team. So I will be doing diaries, epic sale diaries early, so I can fill you in on how things are tracking, what's going on, and the likes. So until then, you have a great weekend, and hopefully I'll see you Saturday. Take care.